record. And I know Freddie is always ready, so the floor is yours now, my friend. Take it away.
Well, that is fantastic. Hey, everyone, good morning. Just really get serious here. Everyone turn your camera on. Let's go. Everyone's got their hair all messed up. See, I don't have that problem, you know. John, you don't have that problem either. Why isn't your camera on? Why is your camera not on, John? Speak up. There's Evelyn. How many of you want to see Judith or Viviana or Holly or Annabelle even from the Philippines? Anyway, I guess I'm not going to get any cooperation. That's okay. I'm used to that. You know, I was born the last of 6 children. I never really got an edge in, I mean, a word in edgewise, so I've made up for it all my life. So I'm going to make up for it this morning, and I am going to just rattle on here. No, I'm not. I want to get you rattling on. Remember, that's the mastermind, correct? The mastermind. Let me just share your screen. Let me tell you what we're going to be doing. I want to share my screen with you. This is all about Wisdom Wednesdays. We're going to switch up the name, Wisdom Wednesdays. And there's 2 words this morning. How many people do we have on? Because I know they'll join, and I want to remember. There's 2 words I want to talk about today. And here's Wisdom Wednesdays. You know, it's taking time and wisdom and mixing them together. And I want you to start thinking about 2 words that I woke up with this morning. You know, after talking to a number of people already, it's Wednesday, and a number of people, you know, coaching this week. There's 2 words. You ready? Annabelle, put these in the chat. The 2 words are deny. I'm going to start with that one. I don't want to get you. So I want to focus on that word deny today. And if this is about Wisdom Wednesdays, and this is about Twisdom, mixing time and wisdom together, this comes from a scripture verse in the Psalms, the Jewish scriptures. When King David cried out to God, he said, "Oh God, teach us to number our days that we may apply our heart to wisdom. Teach us to number our days that we may apply our heart to wisdom." And the word deny ties into this today. And I have a second word, another D word for you that I want to talk about and get you thinking about. But think about the word deny a minute. And it's really strong on my mind after, you know, a number of coaching sessions this week and watching people struggle and watching people juggle and watching people just straining, almost like, I won't go there, straining to do other things in their life. But you know, where am I going with the word deny? Someone try to, come on, let's participate. A mastermind. What is a mastermind? I'm not the master, folks. I'm a learner. You know, a mastermind is coming together and realizing every mind is a master. Every mind has mastered some things, and we all can benefit, even if we've mastered failure, even if we mastered depression, even if we've mastered all this stuff, right? A mastermind is to come together and to find answers, to find encouragement. The word encouragement, the word heart, Latin word heart, means to get your heart back. So this mastermind, we have 18 people on, and if only one was on, is just as important. So why am I talking about the word deny today? Someone just tell me what comes to your mind when you think of the word deny. What do you think about when you think of the word deny? Everyone's multitasking. Judith, I see you. You're checking an email or a text.
Disagree, dispute, not approve.
Okay, disagree, dispute, not approve. Okay, dispute, not approve.
Turn down, refuse.
Ignore.
Put someone said fear. You that put fear. That's cool. Deny your negative thoughts. Deny. Okay, deny your negative thoughts, Steph. That's a great one. What else? Deny. Come on, Holly. Come on. That beautiful mind of Holly Barrett. Folks, if Holly Barrett speak up more. Viviana, what was that?
Hiding.
Hiding? All right, hiding. That's interesting. Yeah, hiding from something. Okay. Who else? The word deny. Holly, how many of you want to hear from Holly this morning? When she speaks, you want to pay attention. Holly? 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 Okay, who else? Who else? Come on, we're not there yet. Deny. Rick, what do you think about the word deny? What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
When I think about the word deny,
Yeah.
I guess not getting something I want.
Say it one more time. So not what?
Not getting something I want.
Good. That's a good one. Not getting something I want. I just placed in the chat again, the Twisdom clock. If you don't have it, I would love you to print that and keep it up. You know, what time is it for you, right? What time is it for you? When you're thinking about the word deny, do we deny ourselves, you know, power and personal power because we deny ourselves too much? So when I think about the word deny, I just want a little bit more though. That was good, Rick. Anybody else? How many of you on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rank yourself? Because I want you now to just tie the word deny into yourself, your personal life, your business life, your love life, your financial life. If you were to say that, you know, 10 being the worst, 10 being the worst, of as far as you're denying yourself something, denying yourself in any of the areas of life, where would you rank yourself? Put it in the chat. 10 is the worst, that you always are sense that you're denying yourself something, or that something's missing. You've denied something. Elise, not being truthful. There you go. Deny is not facing the facts. That's fantastic. That's true. So denying yourself, holding yourself from moving forward. Evelyn, perfect. Holding yourself from moving you forward. You're denying momentum. You're denying the law of multiplication. You're denying the law of movement, right? Steph is 5-5. That's safe. Okay. 5-5. Okay. We started out as 5-5. So keep going. Who else? Who rates himself higher than a 5? That you're you sense you deny yourself too much. And I got another D word for you that's going to really bring this home. So okay, 7. All right, Rick. All right, 7. Well, that was a direct message, Rick. Make sure you hit everyone. That was a direct message, but Rick said 7. Anybody else? Okay, let's look at the word a minute, deny. Okay. There's another 7. Okay, let's just share this. The Twisdom clock, remember? You know, King David. Now, if King David thought enough, he didn't want to deny himself anything, right? Because he knew the power of divine intelligence, divine integrity. He knew that in his description, the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob, the historical God, that he said, I don't want to deny myself anything. And he cried out, he said, dear God, teach us, not me, but teach us. Why? Because David knew the mastermind. David knew we're collectively where the power is, his kingdom, the kingdom that he has as a king. But now we're the kingship of humanity, right? We're all in the same kingdom. And so David cried out for you and for me. He said, dear God, teach us to apply our heart to wisdom. Teach us to number our days. That's the first thing he said. Teach us to number our days. So I numbered them for you. Now, this is a 72 is the average lifespan of people living on planet Earth today. Okay, so I use this. Now, David also says in that same writing, he says, teach us to number our days that we may apply our heart to wisdom, right? And if man is successful, he gets 70 years. And if by strength, he gets another decade, he gets another 10, right? So this is real stuff, folks. So when he said, he didn't want anything denied for him. He wanted to number his days. So what time is it for you, Joe? You were talking about turning 30. What time is it for you on this clock?
Oh gosh.
What time is it for you on this clock, my friend? It's 6 o'clock for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. It's 36. It's 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock for you,
Yep.
right? What have you
It's,
been doing, man? You're denying yourself. Come on. It's already 5 o'clock. What do you do normally at 5 o'clock?
not quite. But yeah.
So who else? Well, where are you on the clock? 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock? Put it in the chat. or shout it out. Just shout it. Oh, wait a minute. I share my screen. Yeah. So shout it out. Where are you on the clock? Where are you on the clock? This is Wisdom Wednesdays. Where are you on the clock? Shout it out. Just unmute yourself. 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Where are you? If you're 60, it's what time? It's 10 o'clock. If you're 66, it's 11 o'clock.
I'm at 7:30.
7:30. Who else? 7:30. Who else? Rick, it's 7:30. What do you normally do in life, right? You're like winding down and all, but no, you can't do that, right? You can't do that. Stop denying yourself. Don't wind down, right? So Wisdom Wednesdays, I want it to be about this mastermind, but let me show you this. You know, the word deny, okay? Deny. State that one refuses to admit the truth or existence of. They deny any responsibility for the tragedy, right? Refuse to give or grant to someone. How about to you? How about to you? You know, on Mind Body Mastermind this week, I revealed that I want to go to this is the October challenge, folks. In case you didn't see it, your inner voice, Mind Body Mastermind. Annabelle, put that link in the chat in case you're not a member of Mind Body Mastermind. But here is the challenge for October for every single person on this call. How many do we have on the call? 26. Your inner voice, illusions or reality. Folks, if you do not take that clock serious, you are denying the reality that you are here for a limited time and you're here to do something. You're here to bring something. You're here to leave something behind. So as your inner voice, illusions or reality, don't deny the truth. What is the meaning of deny? State that one refuses to admit the truth or existence of state, the state that you're in. Are you truly denying yourself? Are you applying your heart to wisdom? Are you numbering your days? As King David said, teach us to number our days that we may apply our heart to wisdom. Seriously, did you really take advantage of every minute yesterday? Ask yourself, did you really take advantage of every minute yesterday? Because that clock, you don't need to manage time, you need to manage priorities. How much of this little red hand going around and around that you denied yourself something, right? So going back over here is that I really want you to take this serious. Your inner voice, illusions or reality. As the leaves change and the air grows crisp in certain areas, this October, we're diving deeper into a profound topic, your inner voice. It's a journey that will have us unraveling our innermost thoughts and seeking the true essence of our being. Folks, you are not loyal to your true essence. None of us are. If I were able to have you reveal every thought you've had in the past 72 hours and put you in a courtroom, and I took every one of your thoughts that you've had, you would be declared guilty of murdering time, murdering your potential. You would be, because we don't stir ourselves up enough. I'm so glad you are here, 25 of you, because I really want you to get the true essence of your being. That voice that always calls out for love, to feed on and nourish the soul, or desire to extend the love it is full of. And it's all about love of yourself, love of the time, love of the clock, love of this life, love the fact that you've been granted a little stay here, right? You got granted a little stay. So the theme is your inner voice, illusions of reality. We've all felt that quiet whisper, that gut feeling, even it's like, oh, come on, there's more, come on, let's go. The sudden insight, but how often do we truly listen? How do we discern between illusions crafted by our fears and the genuine voice of our inner wisdom? Folks, God put within every single one of us a kingdom. He put inside every single one of us wisdom. David cried out for it, but how did David say, I'm going to get the wisdom? He said, just teach me to number my days. So that's a really important thing. Start this month by seeking answers, power, and truth when your inner voice speaks up. Hear It's good that you don't seek it, but if you don't hear it, truly listen without judgment, without resistance, just pure undivided attention. To learn as the days unfold, notice patterns, the negative patterns, the positive patterns, the depressing patterns, the drinking patterns, the eating patterns, the doubt patterns, the success patterns. Sometimes we wear ourselves out with success, right? We don't balance that even. Right. So this is all about really the yin and the yang, right? What messages come through repeatedly? You might be too successful. You might need to adjust it a little bit. You might need to slow it down a little bit. What emotions or situations trigger its guidance? And then also the word denying reality. I'm dealing with a family right now with a loved one that's dying, and they're fighting it all the way. Folks, what are we doing? What are we doing? We're here. Once our body is not of use anymore, okay, we're going back to where we come from. Why are you fighting it? Why are you fighting? This family is like being torn apart. I had the same situation with my sister. My older sister died from pancreatic cancer unexpectedly. And she got diagnosed the day after her husband died. My poor nephew and nieces, but boy, the denying of reality. Sometimes we got to balance this stuff. And folks, the only place we get that is inner wisdom. We have to understand, reflect, dive deep into understanding the nature of this voice. It is driven by our past experience, judgment, hope, and fear. Or is there a divine intelligence guiding us? Yes. Remember, divine intelligence and divine integrity are ever present, constantly communicating with us, whether you prefer to call it God, the universe, a higher power, or your deeper self. This voice aims to guide, protect, and illuminate your path, but yet we deny it. We deny ourselves. We deny ourselves. And this second word I'm going to give you, I hope that will really light you up. So I'm asking you in the month of October is dedicate 10 minutes daily, every day, 10 minutes daily for total silence, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. Maintain a journal, document your inner voice, what your inner voice communicates that each day. Just be real quiet. And then at the end, just jot down some of the, what you're feeling. And then, journaling, I'll show you here on the comments, someone recommended a journal. I've been using day one. I'm going to ask, I'm going to put that in the, it'll be here. So Annabelle, in case someone joined us late, put Mind Body Mastermind in there, but daily, weekly, or at the end of the month, could you please share your thoughts in this group? Did you find it illusionary or real? How does turning in affect your daily life? Folks, if you don't turn in, you are denying reality. You are denying and you're going to live the rest of your life with illusions and not reality. The illusions of it's going to get better, or someone else is going to fix it, or something else is going to help, or something, if I just do this, or if I just do that, and you're constantly in that monkey mind, right? Challenge. We're 460 strong. If every member participates, imagine the collective wisdom of a true mastermind we'd uncover. So I challenge each of you not to just participate, but to encourage it, and at least one other member or others to take the journey with us. Invite someone to the Mind Body Mastermind. I am sharing, and it's not that I'm the master, it's that I've exposed myself so many hours to masters all my life, and in masterminds myself, and in everything from A to Z. And that's where we come together collectively to create a mastermind. And folks, I need you. You are my salvation. I need you in here to communicate. As a group, that's what a mastermind is. Let's make this October truly transformative. After all, together, we are the Mind Body Mastermind. So I hope that you get involved in this. And then we have some comments here, and some people are talking, Kathleen Comfort, Ted, are you on the call? Ted was talking about the struggle. I started doing it, and there's so much going on in my head that it's hard to filter it out. I suspect that as time goes on, things will get quieter. Ted, it will get quieter. I promise you. So get involved this month in this. Now I'm going to give you the second word. By the way, you will get to a point when you really do this, you will get to a point that, hold on one second. Someone walked in instead of the board. Hi, how are you? Hi, I'm Fred. The class. He's around the corner to the left. Good to meet you. I had to do that. Someone walked in the office. I'm here by myself. So anyway, get involved. Get involved. Now, here's the second word. Here's the second word, and that is the word debased. Folks, every single one of us on this call are debased when it comes to our personal power, when it comes to our true essence. We are debased. Now, you may say, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't get on a call for you to call me debased because that has some other connotations. But when it comes to ourselves, we are debased, reduced in quality or value, reduced in quality or value. How many of you with that definition have that you would be considered debased? You're reduced in quality or value, that you don't value your business enough, or you don't value your relationship enough, or you don't value your health enough, or you don't value your time enough. Really, debasing or debased, to lower in character, dignity, quality, or value. How many of you, if I put you on trial today and looked at your calendar and looked at your database in reference to your business, if I looked at your level of production in your business, if I looked at your checking account and your finances, how many of you would be accused of to lower in character, dignity, quality, or value? So we need each other. We need a mastermind, a true mastermind, not just showing up and acting. And get in here. Now, here's a Kathleen had recommended, she's at EXPCon right now, but she had recommended this one. But as I looked at it, it didn't have that kind of ranking. So I'm really pushing the one that I've been using for years. And that is Day One. It's right on your phone. I love it. I put videos on, I put pictures on, I take pictures of my face. I go, and when I look back over the last 3 or 4 years, and I go, oh my gosh, I keep repeating the same cycles. I keep repeating the same cycle. So once you're quiet and you do this, let me share this here in the chat. Once you're quiet and you start doing this on a daily basis, you will start valuing that time so much. And you will start valuing yourself. You're going to realize that all the stuff and all the noise and all that is not you. It is not you. It is absolutely just noise. That is the illusions of your life. You may say, well, Fred, I got this, I got that, I got that. Well, I got to get my database. I got to get this. Once you start getting quiet, you start valuing yourself much more. You start valuing your time. You start realizing how much you really can get out of time. So anyway, there's the 2 words I want us to think about today is deny and debased. Stop denying yourself. Stop denying your loved ones. Stop denying those around you. Folks, every second, everything you do affects someone 3, 4, 5, 6, 700 years from today. We are collectively a mastermind. It affects. Don't think you're on an island. You're not. We are all connected and we need each other. So with that, let me open it up. The month of October, let me see the hands of you. I want 100% participation, please, in the chat. Just say, I'm a member of the Mind Body Mastermind. If you're not, please join and make a commitment that you'll come to that community this month of October, and join the community and participate in this. I'm going to say this, and it sounds negative. I'm so sick and tired of watching so many people deny themselves, constantly denying themselves and denying their family and denying who they truly are. Every time I hear someone go, oh, I got on one of my clients the other day, and the first thing she said, oh, I'm going nuts. And this woman is successful. Look her up, Hustle Bees Realty over in the West Coast of Florida. She is so successful as a 30-year-old broker owner. And she, oh, I'm going nuts, Fred. And she's been hanging out with me 6 months. So it goes to show you, we need each other, right? We need each other. So when you come in here for the month of October, please take this challenge. Please take this challenge. And the other thing is on the mastermind, understand, and by the way, all our daughters should be told this daily for sure. The power of a mastermind, I put this in here, is that I want everyone to understand how important this is that this is, if you engage, what you will get out of it. A Course in Miracles teaches that universal theology, philosophy, politics, and religion is impossible, but a universal love is not only possible, but is inevitable because it dwells within each of us. And we are only here to bring forth as much possible before we depart planet Earth. Let's get together and pull the love out, that love for us, more love for ourselves, more love for our family, more love for our community, more love for each other, right? And really stir each other up. Let's stir each other up, brainstorm ideas and understand if what you're doing is if it's valid, or what you're about to do, what you're doing or is what you're about to do valid. The freedom is to talk about what drives you without judgment, motivation from people who think like you, right? So that's the power of a mastermind. So I'm asking you, please, please, please come in here, push this community out to your loved ones and your friends, because I've been living my life. I love watching people be healthier. I love watching people be happier. I love watching people be wiser, and I love people being wealthier. And that's what this mastermind is all about, being healthier, happier, wiser, and wealthier. So let me get off the bandwagon and let me open it up. How are you going to, someone step up and say, you know what, Fred, you stirred me up. I've been denying myself too much in this area. I'm denying myself of an exuberant relationship with my loved one or my spouse, or I'm just share how you've been denying, and then anybody that's overcome denying yourself. So how have you been denying yourself? Speak up and let's stir each other up. How have you been denying yourself? In relation, well, it could be business, it could be relationships, it could be finances, it could be health, it could be anything. How have you been denying yourself?
I want to
Joe.
say something. I
Oh,
want to
go
say
ahead,
something.
Judith.
That may not be exactly, the topic that you're talking about, but FYI, I watched one of the movies that you recommended last week, The Shack. Very good movie. I love to see, this kind. It's very. I think it's on Hulu. If anyone wants to see it, very good movie. So I watched another movie over like 2 days ago that is called A Million Miles Away. It's a story about this guy from. That one is on Amazon Prime. It's a story about this astronaut that is from Mexico, who used to be, he belongs to a family who like field workers. So he was like from town to town picking up crops. And from then he became an engineer. And over the years, he applied to the NASA program like for 12 years or 12 times, like once a year. He was denied. It's you have to watch that because it's really, really good. And then he sat down with his wife once, and his wife, when they were dating 10 years like before, they were talking about their dreams and what they wanted to be. And she said, well, you know what, I want to have a restaurant, by myself, so I can be the cook, do whatever I want. How about you? And he goes, well, I want to be an astronaut. And his girlfriend at the time laughed out loud of him. And then he was like really serious. And then she goes, oh my God, this is not a joke. You really want to be an astronaut. And so he started applying after 5 or 6 times. And then he sat down with his wife and said, listen, this is going nowhere. I've been applying. And then his wife told him, well, just tell me, what do the others have that you don't? So, that makes him realize what needed to be done, like go a little bit further on his plans, to make his dreams come true. Really interesting. We're talking about a kid who used to wake up at 3:30 a.m., pick up crops in the morning, and then going to school, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes falling asleep at class.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think none of us have had, a life like that. And for him becoming an astronaut after he had 5 kids and a wife, and he still did it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. He was
Why?
yeah,
Right. So
a million miles away.
yeah, I mean, I feel sort of, because I'm Mexican as well. I came here when I was 30, so obviously English is not my first language, and I always felt like that. I mean, I'm an accountant over there. I mean, I'm not. I mean, nothing wrong with picking up crops in the field, but I never, I'm sort of educated. I have a degree. So that's what I asking myself at the beginning, what do I need to do? Because everyone comes here and try to do, babysitting or house cleaning, nothing wrong with that. But my husband told me at a time, I mean, it's going to be 25 years that I came to this country on October 12th, by the way. So 25 years ago, we find ourselves like in a different country with a different culture, different, language. And my husband told me, let's not do that. And because once you get involved into that, you're going to stay there like forever, right? So
Yep.
let's, start doing whatever we know how to do. It's going to take a lot of more time, a lot of more work, but let's do it, the right way, and the smart way. And it worked, sort of worked. But I always try to, like put myself, I still have a long way to go, and I'm writing it down. What do the others have that I don't?
I love that. That's great.
Right?
What do others have? I don't. And that's one of
That
the
I
things.
don't. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to work on it. I mean, I thought I was working on it, but now that I saw it in this movie, oh my God, I mean, it was really like eye-opening for me.
Yeah, a number of other people commented on it too. I have not seen that. I'm going to see that one. And then there's
Yeah.
that other
have
movie.
to
Does
see it.
anyone know the name of the 5 women? Was it 4 women? 3 Afro-American women who were denied, well, not denied, but they were really treated horribly in the NASA program. It's a true story. I went to the movies to see it. I can't remember the name of it. Does anyone remember that name? The 4 women, that's another one, almost identical. They did not quit. And folks, that's one of the things, is that the number one thing to stop denying yourself is don't quit. In relationships, I do a lot of, relationship type of coaching. And I have, one couple right now, and the first thing they do, they stop showing up. They stop showing up, in communication. They stop showing up with trying to do something special. They stop showing up in the bedroom. I mean, they stop showing up and you push off and push off. The first thing to stop this denying of ourselves and becoming debased, where we deny reality, is show up. Force yourself. And in all walks of life, life is meant to be thrilling. Life is meant to be, I mean, look at the just the energy around, and the colors and everything. Life is meant to be, beautiful and blissful and bountiful and, and bright. It's not meant to be dark and doubting and all that kind of stuff. So when you start getting quiet every day, and you start listening to that inner voice, that inner wisdom, that kingdom that's within you, and you don't have to even listen. You just be quiet. And then you're gonna get, I get to the point sometimes, about, teach us to number our days. I'll catch myself going, oh my gosh, I gotta snap out of this. I gotta quit being quiet here. Because it's so beautiful that when you start going inside, I mean, I was doing that on Sunday, Saturday morning right after my 70th birthday, my first day of being 70. And I was just sitting there being real quiet and just here, I'm going to just, if you haven't read this story yet, I was just sitting there really quiet. And this is amazing to me. This is where I think I have it in here. By the way, this is one of my coaches and counselors in the course, the real courses. But where is, maybe I don't have it in here. Annabelle, did I print that in here? I guess maybe I know I did. The letter. Anyway, I'll tell you just briefly. I don't, oh, here it is. It's long. I don't have the image, but I was just sitting on being very, very quiet on Saturday morning and just listening. If you want to read a story, and it all started that morning. I was real quiet when I woke up. I said, I'm just going to go quiet. And then I was thinking about my children. But what happened is my wife, some of you know my story, my ex, my first wife, my existing room partner, my lover, my friend, my dear lifelong partner, and maybe my second wife, who knows? But until death do we part. There's a long story behind that one. But anyway, we're sitting, I went out and I grabbed a coffee cup, and I always have a favorite coffee cup that I use. But this morning I grabbed a different coffee cup, and the coffee cup I grabbed was a giraffe. And I'm sitting out there. And a lot of times she doesn't like sitting outside, but she comes out that morning and she has a coffee cup. So she sits down just talking. So I was real quiet. I said, hey, good morning. And so I was just being real reflective. And I looked down at her cup. Her cup had a zebra on it. Mine had a giraffe. I just looked at it. And because I was in deep thought, I started looking. I went, that's not a coincidence. I wonder what that's about. So I started studying the difference between a giraffe and a zebra. Oh my gosh. My whole life unveiled before me about how I've been a giraffe all my life, because I do see long distance. I do have my head up in the air, looking, not stuffy up in the air, but always looking out to the distance, right? But that's great for me. I enjoy that. That's who I am. I can't be untrue to that. But one thing I could do is be a better giraffe, because she's a zebra. She's always been down there. There's an old song, she always tells me I'm her hero, but it's got to be cold in my shadow, especially when you're in the shadow of a giraffe and you're a zebra. So this whole thing, oh my gosh, what a day. What a day. And so if you want to read something, so when you get quiet and you're really, really, truly believing that divine intelligence and divine integrity, or the power, or what, the universe, whatever you want to call it, just get quiet 10 minutes a day. I had been sitting there Saturday morning. I must have been there 15 minutes, just quiet, just looking and just trying to be still. And I was so in tune with, this inner wisdom, right? And when she walked out and I looked at that cup, it brings tears to my eyes. We actually cried together. Well, as I started working on the zebra and the giraffe, I said, honey, I'm so sorry. I've been a giraffe all my life to you and my own kids. Actually, as an apology letter to my children. And because I'm just, anyway, so that's what happens when you're quiet. So anybody else, what are you going to commit to today as a result of this call to stop denying yourself? Somebody speak up. Anybody? Come on. What are you going to stop denying? When are you going to stop? What lies are you going to stop telling yourself? Where are you going to go to really not get motivated, folks? Motivation is like dancing on peanut butter. It could be fun, but it doesn't get you very much. But really aspire to being in tune with the inner voice, being inspired to be listening to truth and wisdom. Who's going to stop denying? What area? Boy, you're all really being safe.
Hey, Fred, I would say I would stop denying, telling myself that I got time. And that just kind of procrastinates everything. It's like, oh, I got time. And I don't have time. I want 7:30.
Rick, you're breaking up a little bit. You said that you're going to stop denying you have time. Your internet's up, the bandwidth. Make sure, by the way, guys, everybody on the phone call, just so you know, if you happen to be in the Florida market, we at the Realtors Association, the State Realtors Association, there's 7 days of tech support. He's trying to talk. There's 7 days of tech support. Number one. Number two.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop denying that. I keep telling myself I have enough time.
There you go. Fantastic. All right, we got you. You were breaking up. Anyway, tech support 7 days a week through the FAR, Florida Association of Realtors. Always get your computer tuned up. They'll log in.
Okay,
yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's in and out. But restart your computer too twice a week. Restart, not just shut it down. Restart, because that's probably what that is, Rick. You need a restart on your computer because the bandwidth and things taking up space and all that, or it could be your internet. But thank you, Rick. Denying that we have time. Folks, time is absolutely the greatest thing that we have. Because let's face it, if right now someone walked in and put a gun to your head, right? Or let's say tomorrow you felt really sick and you went to the doctor and said, I'm sorry, just like my sister heard you have 6 months to live. This is horrible. You know, we got to quit denying time, right? And not only how much time do you get, but how much do you put into the time is the question, right? It's not the amount of time that we have. It's what do we put into the time, right? And respect it. So good thought there, Rick. Anybody else? What will you stop denying yourself as a result of the call? Anybody?
Hey, Fred, I think for me, it's denying myself personal time.
There you go. You listen. I'm so glad you said that, Joe. I'm with you, by the way. And by the way, on the Mind Body Mastermind, I mentioned that denying yourself personal time, because if I have one area that I can do a whole lot more attention in, is personal time. Now, I do take a lot of personal time that's just myself, but personal time with family, personal time with other things, personal time with a project that's unrelated to, Mind Body Mastermind, unrelated to business, unrelated to thinking, right? So personal time, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Anybody else? How many of you have a problem with denying yourself personal time? Anybody? Anybody? We let everyone take Steph. All right. Hey, everybody pay attention when Steph speaks up. Or did you just raise your hand, Steph, and it picked it up automatically? Oh,
I just raised my hand to agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mine's
that's
on
fine.
automatic too. When I hold it up long enough, watch. Yeah. When I go like this, it pops up. Yeah. Okay. Jill, are you talking to us? I think she's on the phone. She didn't realize how close she is to the computer. You're muted, Jill. I think she was talking on the phone. Jill, you there? No. All right, Steph. So you were agreeing. Amen. All right. So personal time. What else? Anybody else? Hey, how many of you will commit to inviting one other person, minimum, one other, sharing on your social media, the Mind Body Mastermind? How many? Invite people to the Mind Body Mastermind Facebook group, because I want that to, I really want a beautiful community of where we really stir each other up. If you go in there and look, I have something coming in November and December. This month is about that inner voice, reality or illusions. Okay. So with that, how many of you feel like you could be a little bit healthier? And that's not only body, that could be emotions. How many of you could be more healthy emotionally? How many of you could be more healthier physically? Healthier financially? Anybody? Can you be healthier financially? So healthier. How many of you could be happier? Show up at masterminds, come in and participate in the mastermind. How many of you could be healthier, happier, wiser? How many of you could be wiser? Right? And then how many of you could be wealthier? Not only wealthier in finances, because that's a part of it too, but wealthier in your thought life, wealthier in your enjoyment of life, wealthier in your energy. How many of you could use a little bit more wealth in your energy, right? And that comes with health. So those 4 words all go together. So, all right, I want a few more. We're going to make Ken Markman speak up, because hey, Ken, where are you on the clock? Hold on, let me open my clock up. Ken, are you there? Or did we catch you multitasking? Ken, are you there? I do this to him all the time. Oop, he must be multitasking. Mr. Ken. Ken is a guy that's been around for quite a while too. And so anyway, think about this today. Let's really become a mastermind. Let's show up when we have these calls, because this Wisdom Wednesday, I now that I had that milestone halfway through my 4th quarter, I'm really determined to try to stir people up more to be wiser, and to really quit denying themselves and becoming debased personally, debased in their power. Because, I realize how fast it goes. And then especially for those of you that are 30, Joe, For those of you who are 30, you want to build to where when you get halfway through, because you got the 0 to 20 first quarter, you got the 20 to 40 the second quarter, and then you got the 40 to 60 the third quarter, and 40 to 60 is where most lives really have disaster that happens. And then that fourth quarter is a mess. That fourth quarter is a mess. If you don't believe it, look around. Look at people that are, you find some people that are 65 and they look 90. Or if you go into the nursing homes, folks, I don't know how many of you spend time in nursing homes. I've spent a lot of times in nursing homes, working with people. And unfortunately, personally, my ex had to go to one last year after hospice. But and we got her out of there pretty quickly because they thought she had a memory problem and she didn't. It was medication and drugs. But oh my gosh, the people sitting there bent over their wheelchairs, you ask yourself how, and they have money, and a lot of them have money. A lot of them, because they're in a pretty nice but drooped over in there, and you ask them, and you see how old they are, 68, 70, 72, 70. What happened? What didn't they focus on? Who didn't they expose themselves to? How did they let their mind go? And again, there's natural sickness, but there's a lot of it. Most of it is self-induced. It's that we don't focus on that healthier, that happier, that wiser, and that wealthier, and that we always, get back what we put out. So let's really stir each other up and keep going. Anybody else business-wise? Who had a listing this past week? Come on. You were so quiet this morning.
Fred, can you explain again? I'm sorry, I think I missed it. The clock thing. I'm at 9. I'm 50. I'm 56. I'm on the fourth quarter. Ouch. But
Yeah, let's see.
I missed the top part, like the numbers that are outside and the ones that are
Yeah.
in.
Here's what happened is that what I used to teach time management courses when I was 23 years old as a real estate salesperson. Fortunately, I did very well, led the company my first year, a number of listings taken over, one a week. I took 53 listings. And they used to call me into new people to speak to new people how to go out and get for sale boners and expireds, because that was my specialty. So I used to do a little portion of it, time management. And so one day I was sitting in a church. I was only 23 years old, and I came across that verse in Psalms. I'm giving you a quick background of this. It says where King David in the Psalms, the Bible in the Old Testament, the Jewish scriptures, he says, "Dear God, teach us to number our days, that we may apply our heart to wisdom. And we are granted 3 scores and one score if by strength." So in other words, that's 70, right? 3 scores and I'd have to go look it up for the exact wording. But anyway, so I took my calculator out. I was a real estate salesperson. I was 22 years old, or 24 maybe at that time. So I took my calculator. I said, how many days do we really have? So I'm sitting there and I said, what is a 70-year lifetime? So I took 70, 3 score and 10. Well, that's what it is. 3 score and 10, David says. King David says, we were granted 3 score and 10, which is 70. And if by strength 4, which is 80. So I said, what is a 70-year lifetime equal? And it's 613,200 hours. I still remember it. It's 25,550 days, a 70-year lifetime. That's what I used to teach. This used to be 70 years. Then I made it 72 because of the 6 years. Every 5 minutes is 6 years. So you hit that right on. How old are you, Judith?
56.
56. Okay. So for you, it's, this is the 10, right? So for you, it's almost 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So at night, when it's almost 10 o'clock, what do you do normally? But we don't want to do that. This is a clock of energy. This is a clock of life. So what I did with this Twisdom thing, I got it trademarked because I'm going to start developing this. I took time and I took wisdom and I mixed them together. So I call it Twisdom. So this clock for you, when you hit 60, let's use this since the numbers are, that means you've spent 21,900 days on planet Earth. That means you spend 525,000 hours of your life. Now, when I used to teach these time management courses, I would open it up and I would say, everyone take a wild guess, take out a big piece of paper and write as big as you can write. And I would start the course off, the time management portion of it. I would have them write really big. How many? No, I said, no figuring out, just real fast. hold it up in 3 seconds. I want you to guess. And I would say, how many days is a 70-year lifetime? Full 70 years. How many days do we get? And I would get answers like, 100,000, 500,000, a million. Some people put up a million. I say, okay, how many hours? I would get 10 million. It's crazy. So as Rick was saying, we think we got time, right? So I would say, well, wait a minute, let's look at the reality. And I would put up what we used to call them when we had the overhead projectors. You put the little flat thing on, right? And I would put it up. I would say, folks, you really have only 25,550 days in a 70-year lifetime. So this clock here that I had developed, that I'm working on producing, is so these are the hours, underneath the number, and these are the number of days. So Joe at 30, he's lived 10,950 days already. Okay, Joe, you've got 10,000 days in, and he's already used up 262,000 hours. So what have you done with 250,000 hours? Just think about that. Judith, what have you done with 500,000 hours? Does that get thing in perspective? Yeah. Folks, this is where you stop thinking about time management and you think about priority management. You stop denying yourself and you quit living a debased lifestyle when it comes to your true essence, because we are so powerful. And 500,000 hours, and they were burnt up at 20 minutes, at 40 minutes, or 30 minutes, or 2 hours at a time. And it's amazing. So that's what this is about. It's really to stir people up, to say, hey, I'm going to take responsibility for this. And I'm going to really arrange my priorities in life to match, what I've been granted, right? So don't ask about mine, okay? I'm in between. I've got about 600,000 hours in about 20. Well, I actually have 25,550 days, 70 years, because I know it off the top of my head. So I've lived 25,550 days, and I've lived 613,200 hours as of Saturday. So now this doesn't mean it's over. This is not, because, you look at the centenarians today, there's so many more. Now, Jamie Dimon, matter of fact, here, I just printed this, which I don't agree with everything that Jamie Dimon says, but this here, I just printed this article today that I'm going to have Annabelle read. Jamie Dimon says the next generation of employees will work 3.5 days a week and live to 101 because of AI. Remember last week? Oh, no, it wasn't last week. I printed in Mind Body, I did a whole thing on AI and DI, artificial intelligence and divine intelligence, because I have a lot of friends, and this is no dispersion on anybody, but more of my religious friends say, well, AI, it's taking over the world, and and it's just doom and gloom. I said, look, let me tell you something. Every piece of intelligence is from divine intelligence, no matter who utters it. So I really believe, I did a whole thing here on, well, it's only a couple-minute video on divine intelligence, and it was just sweet. She brought me, I was at the beach the other day, she brought me that. But anyway, I did a whole thing on divine intelligence and artificial intelligence. So Jamie Dimon's article was pretty interesting this morning. I read this at real early in the morning, that where he talks about this, because of artificial intelligence. And if you're not mastering artificial intelligence and using it, then you're missing out, right? This is an interesting article. I'll put this in the chat too. Read this. This is really, really interesting. Let me put this in the chat for you. So anyway, that's what that's about, Judith. Judith is the the clock is that the Twisdom is all about really honoring and respecting every minute of every day, and get your head out of time management. You don't need time management. You need priority management. Do the most important thing you can at every given moment. That is the number one basic rule of good priority management. Do the most productive thing you can at any given moment. I've shared with people before, I have a 180-page to-do list. I just let the cream rise to the top, and, I want to die with a 500-page to-do list, right? Just like George Burns, remember, he planned all those trips way ahead of time. So anyway, that's what that's about. Okay, so thank you all. I appreciate you because you make Steph, did you have your hand? Oh, no. Okay. You're just up at the top there somehow. Any last parting thoughts? And Judith, I'm glad you brought that back up because if you were thinking that way, see, there's a mastermind because I'm so used to that clock. I assume that everyone gets all those little numbers. And because Judith spoke up and she's using her mind, how many of you didn't understand all those little numbers also? Let me see. How many? Right? So you just spoke up, and that's a true mastermind. Okay. So hopefully see you in the community and commenting and invite some on your social media. Let's really get that community going and participating though. Okay. All right. Thank you all so much. Tiffany.